This movie is pretty much the quintessential Australian superhero movie because it's just Australian. It's very Australian and New Zealand humour. It's very much got the humour down pat. Nice work. You nailed Australian humour.
We need to stop her here and now to prevent Ragnarok, the end of everything. So I'm putting together a team. Like the old days. Surprise! This will be such fun.
Thor Ragnarok is directed by Taika Waititi, who is a New Zealander, but Thor Ragnarok also stars Chris Hemsworth, Tom Hiddleston, Tessa Thompson, Cate Blanchett, Mark Ruffalo as the Hulk is here, Jeff Goldblum's in there, Anthony Hopkins, maybe a cheeky few cameos if you're smart enough to pick them out, like, I'm not going to say, but there's a few cheeky cameos. So Thor Ragnarok is the third Thor movie and the 17th movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and basically Ragnarok is coming. Hela, played by Cate Blanchett, is coming to take over Asgard, and Thor is sent across the universe to a place called Sakaar, where he ends up in this gladiatorial fight, and he has to make his way back to Asgard to stop Hela, to stop Ragnarok. And honestly, I actually think this is the best Thor movie. To be honest, I enjoy this more than Thor 1, and way more than Thor 2. Thor 2 is I haven't seen it in a long time. Is all I can say about it. But Thor Ragnarok is great, really. It's really good. The humor they put a lot of humor into this movie. They've put a lot of humor in their recent Marvel movies. Like, I thought Phase 3 was going to be like a lot dark. Civil War had that dark and serious tone, and Doctor Strange had some of it, but the humor got in the way of that seriousness. But then Guardians 2 came out. That was just joke after joke after joke, and Spider-Man Homecoming had a lot of jokes in there, and this just has even more jokes in there. So I'm hoping they can go back to more of a darker tone, because I did like that more darkening and seriousness of, oh, there's real stakes here. And don't get me wrong, there are stakes in Thor Ragnarok. It's just that the humor gets in the way of them actually being like, oh, there's actually stakes in this movie. But yeah, the humor is great. They nail it. I won't say it's like hilarious stuff, like it's got really gutful laughs. No, for me it's just like, Australian humor, that's pretty cool. Like all the jokes I pretty much relate with it. There are references to the Holden cars, like the Commodore. There's even a subtle reference to The Castle, which is a great Australian movie. If you haven't seen The Castle, I recommend it. And also there's a not so subtle reference to the OG Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. You know, the 70s one. The one where it's like just a reference to the tunnel ride where it gets all really intense for a sec. But no, here they did it pretty well. It played off really humorously. I was just like, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I get that reference. That's pretty funny. The acting from everyone is good. I mean, it's more just people reprising their roles, like Tom Hiddleston, Anthony Hopkins, Chris Hemsworth, Mark Ruffalo. They're all just reprising their roles, and they're doing a very good job at it. But the newcomers like Jeff Goldblum, he is just more Jeff Goldblum, to be honest. I would watch Jeff Goldblum just go on and on about whatever stuff he just goes on about, how he just keeps going on and on about stuff. I would watch that for a whole movie. I want a whole movie with just Jeff Goldblum going on and on. I mean, Cate Blanchett is also great. She is probably the most consequential villain of the Marvel Cinematic Universe so far. But what I mean by that is that she just has this immediate effect on Thor and Loki and Odin and Asgard itself. Like, her actions have consequences. Like, it's not like everybody gets out alive and lives happily ever after. There are legitimate consequences to this. Tessa Thompson is also great. I really loved her performance and her introduction into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I really want to see more of her. She was great in Creed, great in Thor Ragnarok. Can't wait to see more of her. And also, Taika Waititi has this character named Korg. He's like this motion capture rock guy. He is so funny. He is just a great character, really funny, and I love the New Zealand voice. He's just like, hey bro, you look like a real gladiator, bro. New challenger? Oh, bro, we're gonna go get some fish and chops. I wonder if I did this whole video in a New Zealand accent, bro. Pretty sure I butchered that by the end, but you know what? I'm keeping it in. And Taika Waititi's direction itself is great. You really get his sense of style. If you've seen any of his movies before, he really has his style that he just shoves into Thor, and it's just like, yes, he just makes Thor a more entertaining character. If I have a flaw with Thor Ragnarok, there's a few. The narrative I don't think is overall that strong. I mean, it's enough for me to go, alright, we're going to here, that's enough, taking me to the next scene. like, take me on to the next thing. That's pretty much what the film is. And the narrative overall is entertaining and it all makes sense. I couldn't really find that much of a continuity error in it. But I do think that the movie overall relied more on its jokes than on its narrative.
Yeah, it's called the Revenges.
Revenges?
I mean, we don't have to have a name. We could have no name.
And that sort of made the movie drag out just a little bit long. Maybe shave back a couple minutes and it would have been perfectly fine. Thor Ragnarok is a highly entertaining movie. It's really funny. For me, it just gets me with the Australian humor. It's nice to see that type of humor represented in a big Hollywood movie, which it never is. It hasn't been before, I don't think. But it's good to see it here. I would love to see Taika Waititi direct another big blockbuster movie. That would just be really great to see. So I will say that Thor Ragnarok, I'd buy it on DVD. Having seen Thor Ragnarok, what did you think of it? What's your favourite Thor movie? Let me know in the comments down below. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe and comment on the Platypus, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Oh wow, you made it to the end of the video. Good job. Click that subscribe button over there for more good content, or click one of these two videos down below, which is probably one of my most recent ones, probably. I mean, you know, just click either one of them. Either one's really good enough.